Welcome back to the Rob Skinner Podcast. My goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. Today, I'm reading from day 3 of my new book, Before You Quit, Hope for the Christian Who Feels Done. I wrote this in the hopes that people would read it before they walked away from their relationship with God or before they left the fellowship. And so if you or someone you know is having a tough time in their faith, please give them this book or forward this episode because I really want to help people. Today I'm reading from day 3, When Church Doesn't Feel Safe Anymore. I nearly walked away when I felt like they were demanding too much. I felt unmotivated and empty inside. My spiritual gas tank was empty, and I was being asked to put the pedal to the metal. I thought the church was too much in my business and too controlling. At other times, I felt frustrated at the levels of micromanagement. I longed for the days when the Spirit just seemed to be flowing and everything seemed to come naturally. Smiles and joy seemed to dominate the atmosphere, and the church grew as a result. Church blow-ups, splits, and conflicts are nothing new. Church leaders exposed in affairs, they happen with regularity. Hypocrisy in the membership and leadership is a truism. At other times, you struggle because you look around and you see so many people who are odd, struggling, or who don't have their lives together. You wonder how you ever ended up in this place that's more reminiscent of an emergency room than a temple for worshiping God. You can struggle because of the leadership's tone and attitude. It may not fit with your worldview or political views. Churches can be tossed and turned by the current social crisis facing the country in which you live. You might have been a victim of gossip. Something you shared got around and got known. It may no longer feel safe. It's no longer the friendly family that you thought it was going to be. At other times, you're called in to settle fights between members and spend more time mediating and arbitrating than bringing salvation to lost souls. Sometimes I've looked around and thought, this is a very different church than the one I was baptized into. The list of church stuff is nearly endless. However, the trigger that often causes people to walk away is usually being offended by another member or by a leader. If you've been in a church community for any length of time, you are going to get your feelings hurt, insulted, or put off by somebody else. I had a brother in the church who spread the lie that he saw me in a hot tub with 2 girls in bikinis. People in the fellowship were asking me about it, like, hey, did that really happen? I finally sat down with that guy and an elder. The elder asked him to show the photo that he was talking about. He said he couldn't find it, but that another brother had seen it. The elder called that other brother that he mentioned. And that other brother said he'd never seen anything like it except for a picture of me in a hot tub baptizing somebody. The brother who slandered me was warned by the church leadership for being divisive and slanderous. But the damage was done. For the first time, I was struggling with feelings of hatred toward another Christian. If you're dealing with church hurt, you're not the first person to feel it. Paul wrote, the acts of the flesh are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, and debauchery, idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. Galatians 5:19-21. This passage is often used to highlight carnal sins like sexual immorality or pornography, impurity. But Paul, we got to keep in mind the context. Paul here is talking to church members, and the majority of the sins that he highlights are diabolical or social sins like hatred, discord, jealousy, etc. These are sins committed in a church environment, and left unchecked, they'll disqualify a person from entering heaven. It'll also damage the faith of those who are victims of that sin. If you're one of them, hang on. You're not the only one. You can make it through this time. Join me for the next episode of Before You Quit. Hope for the Christian who feels done. I'll be covering day 4 next time. I hope this has helped you because my goal is to inspire you to live a no regrets life, make this life count, and multiply disciples, leaders, and churches. Have a great day and make this life count. P.S. Can I ask you a little favor? My goal was to really encourage people. So if you know someone who could benefit from this reading or this book, please just forward them on this episode and just say, hey, why don't you listen to this? Because my goal, I want people to come back. I want people to not walk away. And so please forward to them or a link to the book. You can find this book in Amazon under Rob Skinner, Before You Quit. It'll pop right up. You can find a paperback like this or else an electric version. Please spread the word. Thank you so much.